Good day. Um, I spoke earlier about the just-in-time delivery system for between the plant and the warehouse. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the just-in-time system, how it deals with the suppliers. Now this would be the manufacturing plant here, and this would be, let's say, the warehouse. All this is the warehouse. It would be divided halfway into the screen. Now, as I said before, this guy has limited parts on him. So as soon as he runs low on parts, it sends a message to the Kanban system and it prints an order, and someone in the warehouse will pick the order, sort the order, they'll take the order to the loading area, you load it onto a trailer, and thing. So the same thing happens here. There's a separate Kanban system for the warehouse, and it'll say, you know, this guy only this guy has 200 pieces of this part in stock, and 200 pieces will only last for 200 cars. So the amount of cars we want to make, it's not going to last us. So the system sends back a message to the supplier saying we only have 200 pieces. For the next 2 days, we're going to need another 800 pieces. So please send us 600 pieces. So the order goes through, depending on the location of the supplier, that's when they get the message. Sometimes they're local, so they'll send it the same day, and sometimes they're overseas, or we have a lot of suppliers in Mexico, China, United States, and Southern Ontario. So Detroit, yeah. So depending on depending on depending on where the supplier is, there's a close connection with the supplier, and they know exactly how many parts are going to be needed for the next short time period. Their the demand is forecasted so that they know how many parts of each specific the quantity of each specific part is going to be needed for the next 7 days. Um, the method is very efficient because it reduces space, and as I mentioned before, if quality issues arise, reduces it reduces the amount of obsolete parts in this location and in this location. Well, mostly in this location. So the less parts they have means the less parts they'll have to get rid of, and the less parts these people have mean if there's a quality issue, the warehouse will only have to um, throw away a smaller amount of parts, and the rest of the parts, the quality issue could be dealt with at the supplier. So it's it's a very effective way, and it's necessary in this industry because quality issues and things aren't really tolerated. Um, Here on the Whitaker website, that has a thing about late shipments. Um, in this industry, late shipments aren't tolerated. Um, Suppliers will do whatever they have to do to get the parts in on time. They run very strict schedules, and they adhere to those schedules very closely. And if there's a possibility of them not being able to meet that schedule, they will do whatever is in their power to get those parts to the manufacturing facility at that time. Um, Even if they have to airlift these parts from Mexico, or or hand deliver a handful of them to the thing, because any disruption at such a large scale facility, disrupting disrupting the manufacturing facility, has so many employees, so many lost profits. So even disrupting it for an hour ends up costing the company tens of thousands of dollars in lost wages, um, lost potential revenues. So the suppliers are extremely careful, um, not to disrupt this whole supply chain, and make sure they do their part for everything to run efficiently. Just to give you a rough idea on the fees associated with disrupting the supply chain. Um, if the supplier is at fault for disrupting the manufacturing process, um, the fees run upwards of 1,200 to $1,500 a day. So whereas different supply chains, they run by the day, they run by the week, parts or the products can get to a place in a week, in a month. Um, this type of supply chain runs by the minute. Um, these parts, this person will have roughly about 2 hours worth of inventory on hand. After that, he's going to hunt. So this whole cycle can take no longer than 2 hours, or else there's going to be a problem. So there's very little room for error, yet there are a lot of contingency plans in place to um, mitigate the chances of an errors